Good evening, you are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council approves granting a permission period until July the 1st for establishments and companies to adjust their commercial status. A Reformer on the Throne and Sultanate and Sultan are two books that deal with the far-sighted noble visions of the Sultan of Oman at the Muscat International Book Fair. And under the theme Civil Defence and National Institutions Against Disaster, the Sultanate celebrates World Civil Defence Day. Those were the headlines, now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of condolences to His Highness Sheikh Sabah al-Ahmad al-Jabbar al-Sabah, Emir of Kuwait, on the death of Sheikh al-Jazi al-Ahmad al-Jabbar al-Mubarak al-Sabah. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Dr. Dragan Kovic, Chairman of the Presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina, on the occasion of his country's independence anniversary. Meanwhile, His Majesty the Sultan received a cable of thanks from His Excellency Nikos Anastasiades, President of Cyprus, in reply to a cable of greetings sent by His Majesty the Sultan on the occasion of his country's independence anniversary. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council, in its first meeting for this year, approved granting a permission period until July the 1st for institutions and companies to adjust their commercial conditions in light of the decisions of determining fees, prices, insurance and financial guarantees obtained by the institutions of the municipal sector. Regarding the results of the study prepared on government companies owned by the state, the Council approved carrying out a number of procedures in order to develop them through assessment of the general performance and rules of followed governance. The Council reviewed some reports related to the oil and gas sector, such as demands of setting up refineries, a petrochemical factory and the allocation of quantities of gas for projects of the Special Economic Zone at Duqm. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Darwish bin Ismail al-Balushi, Minister responsible for Financial Affairs, Deputy Head of Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council. Muscat International Book Fair at Oman International Exhibition Centre continues to display various types of books, some showcasing His Majesty as the leader of wisdom and the icon of peace who changed the economic and social route of Oman. It also showcases other cultural activities. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rabai.
At this international book fair, book lovers in both Arabic and English languages are seen all over the exhibitions, which includes books about His Majesty the Sultan, showcasing him as the leader of wisdom and the icon of peace who was able to change the economic and social route of Oman. The books entitled Reformer on the Throne and Sultanate and Sultan and other books portray His Majesty's personality and many details about the Sultanate. We met with some of the visitors and have this to say.
The book fair actually it is the life of the human being. It is a part of their lecture, it is a part of the culture, it is a part of the heritage, it is a part of everything. The book, it is the life, you can say.
I have visited this stand today. I was looking for many books. I found this book, which is about Jabir bin Zaid. It is a very good book with good quality of printing.
We also met with some of the authors who have just launched their books.
Fuel of Life is a group of inspiring and motivational articles that inspire people to believe in their dreams and chase them to come true and have objectives in their lives. I was really inspired to write this book out of the life experiences that I have come across all the past years, and I thought of sharing my experiences in a very inspiring way with people so they can learn the lessons and they can discover their own lessons from the experiences they have faced during their lifetime.
This is my second book. It's all about points what I have written.
Hundreds of booksellers and publishers from the GCC and beyond are taking part in the fair. Presentations at different sites of the exhibition are available, where we met with one of them and has this to say about his presentation.
Today I have opportunity to speak about the climate of Dhofar region. So we selected two stations to study the climate of Dhofar region. One is at the mountain and the other station is at Salalah Airport. The main things we study also the tropical cyclone which is affecting the Dhofar region during the first transitional and second transitional. So also the weather elements like temperature, rainfall, daily and monthly and annually.
Indeed, the environment here is based on knowledge and intellectual atmosphere, which its doors are open to all. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television, Oman Exhibition Center.
The Sultanate, represented by the General Commission for Civil Defence and the International Community of Civil Defence, celebrates World Civil Defence Day, which falls on March the 1st every year. This year, the celebration is held under the theme Civil Defence and National Institutions Against Disaster, which is an opportunity to spread a culture of risk prevention through education and training by establishing many activities in various governorates of the Sultanate. The celebration comes in recognition of the role played by civil defence authorities in protecting souls and property and alleviating the effects of emergencies. The National Search and Rescue Team, affiliated to the Public Authority for Civil Defence and Ambulance, managed to rescue 2 persons of Belgian nationality who fell from a mountain in Al Dahira Governorate after receiving a report at the Operations Centre at the Civil Defence and Ambulance Department yesterday evening that the 2 fell from a mountain in Wadi Alain in the Walaya of Ibri. The rescue team responded immediately. However, due to the difficult terrain of the area, the team could not reach the injured at night. After contacting the wounded Belgians in the morning, a police helicopter was put into action and managed to rescue them and take them to hospital for treatment. Still to come in our news bulletin. The lobster fishing season starts today in the governorates of Dhofar, Worcester and South Sharqiya. Special Advisor to the UN Special Envoy for Syria, said today that the 23 member states of the Humanitarian Task Force were failing to help us to help civilians in Syria. His comments came at a news conference in Geneva. Edgeland also stated that Eastern Ghouta was devoid of respect for international law. Edgeland said Damascus's besieged eastern suburbs have faced a deadly and brutal onslaught for weeks by Syrian troops. India and Jordan signed a dozen agreements today in New Delhi to boost bilateral ties in the fields of defence, culture, information technology and healthcare. Jordan's King Abdullah II is currently on a 3-day visit to India. He held talks with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The King said in a speech yesterday that his visit will herald a new start to the relationship between the two countries. His visit comes nearly 3 weeks after Modi travelled to Jordan as part of his trip to West Asia. Russian President Vladimir Putin said today that his country has tested new nuclear weapons, including a nuclear-powered cruise missile and a nuclear-powered underwater drone that would be immune to enemy intercept. Putin said Russia had also tested a new heavy intercontinental ballistic missile called Sarmat, with a range and number of warheads exceeding its predecessor. His comments came during a State of the Nation speech in Moscow. The Russian president dedicated a significant amount of time to Russian military innovations during his speech. Hundreds of drivers were trapped in their cars overnight in Scotland, where authorities said everyone except emergency service workers should stay off the roads. The weather stranded people for up to 10 hours on the snow-carpeted roads amid cancelled flights and train cancellations. Britain's Met Office issued the highest red weather warning for the southwest of the country today, a day after the same one was issued for Scotland. Within the Sultanate's preparations to execute the national exercise Shamuk 2 and Oman-British joint exercise Swift Sword 3, which are to be implemented in October, Air Vice Marshal Mata bin Ali al-Abadani, Commander of the Air Force of Oman and Head of Executive Control, followed up the works of cells and divisions of joint military, security and civil sectors participating in the Command Centre's exercise. He was briefed on the work progress of these cells and divisions in the joint sectors and their entrusted roles and missions. The pension fund of the Ministry of Defence and Duqm Port Company signed a partnership agreement to develop the Duqm Special Economic Zone and annexes related to the agreement of the establishment of Amdad Logistics Company, which is a closed Omani joint stock company. The move came to increase investments of the fund in the logistics sector and diversify them in various economic sectors of the Sultanate. It also came to contribute to the economic development of Duqm Special Economic Zone. The pension fund of the Ministry of Defence owns 55% of the capital of Amdad Logistics Company, while Duqm Port acquires 30% and Oman Company for the Development of Duqm Special Economic Zone owns 15% of the capital. The Military Technological College celebrated its annual day under the patronage of Air Vice Marshal Mata bin Ali al-Abadani, Commander of the Royal Air Force of Oman, Chairman of the MTC Board of Directors. The ceremony was accompanied by a student innovation and talent exhibition, as well as artistic programmes and a selection of musical pieces presented by the RAFO band. At the end, the RAFO commander honoured the distinguished personnel of the college who had a prominent role in various fields. A number of members of the State Council and officials from the Diwan of the Royal Court and Ministry of Defence visited 2 projects of Petroleum Development Oman Company in operational areas. The delegation got acquainted with the Mira project, which is one of the biggest solar energy projects in the world that aims to benefit from the energy in producing the steam for oil extraction. The Omani Authority for Partnership for Development and Oman Sale launched the 2nd edition of Zimam National Leadership Programme. The event included the signing of a cooperation agreement between the Omani Authority for Partnership for Development, Oman Sale and the Ministry of Education. More details in the following report by Salah bin Kalfan al-Rabi.
Building the capacity of Omani school and college students and the cadres working in the public sector are the main objectives of the 2 agreements signed by the Omani Authority for Partnership for Development, Oman Sale and the Ministry of Education within the 2nd edition of Zimam National Leadership Programme.
The partnership between OAPFD, the Ministry of Education and Oman Sale is crucial for this project, because any one of those entities would find it very, very difficult to do what we're trying to achieve. So working together will become much more effective to reach the desired outcomes. And the project's starting in March, and it'll run for this year, particularly in the North Al-Batna, South Al-Batna region and the Dhofar region. But this is our 2nd year working with OAPFD. We've got now a prescribed syllabus, which we know exactly what we're teaching and why we're teaching it. And I believe that this is the start of a long-lived project.
The 2 agreements include the training of 560 students from families of low income and social security in 18 public schools in the governorates of Dhofar and North and South Al-Batna. The program also includes training 48 male and female teachers through dedicated workshops aimed at introducing the program and its educational and scientific objectives, as well as enhancing the training and evaluation skills of trainers. The new version of the program aims to complete the success of the previous edition, which witnessed training and qualifying 900 school and college students through a number of training programs that contribute in achieving comprehensive and sustainable economic development. For the Sultanate of Oman Television English News, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
With the participation of more than 40 financial experts, the Federation of the EuroAsia Stock Exchange discussed in Muscat upgrading services to its members. The members of task groups approved the convention of the annual Congress of the Federation in November, which will discuss the latest technological developments related to the trading process at securities markets. The meeting also discussed the activities of the Federation and proposals which will be activated during the upcoming period, in addition to programs that enhance cooperation among member securities markets and exchange expertise in the field. The Public Authority for Consumer Protection marked the Gulf Consumer Protection Week, whose activities kicked off in the Wilayah of Sahar under the theme Towards Secure Electronic Shopping for Consumers under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Abdul Menem bin Mansour Al Hassani, Minister of Information. This celebration is an annual event and a periodic station that aims at highlighting the importance of solidarity and cooperation among all segments of society with consumers. It also confirms that the consumer has a great global importance in contemporary life, the importance of the full realization of consumer rights, and striving to give consumers first priority in various trade and economic processes. At the end of the ceremony, the Minister of Information honoured sponsors and supporters of the programmes and events of Gulf Consumer Protection Week. The lobster fishing season started today in the governorates of Dhofar, Worcester and South Shaqia. Lobster is seen as an important sea wealth in the waters of the Sultanate. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth enacted laws, regulations and researches in order to regulate activities during this season, in addition to applying fishing law in cooperation with fishermen. The Ministry called all fishermen to commit to the appropriate means of catching lobsters during this season and not to catch lobsters that carried eggs or were less than 8 centimetres long, aiming to protect this marine wealth. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog late at night over the governorates of Al-Dahra and Al-Baraymi. Winds will be northerly to northwesterly, light to moderate. Seas will be moderate to rough with a maximum wave height of 2.5 metres. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council approves granting a permission period until July the 1st for establishments and companies to adjust their commercial status. A Reformer on the Throne and Sultanate and Sultan are two books that deal with the far-sighted noble visions of the Sultan of Oman at the Muscat International Book Fair. And, under the theme Civil Defence and National Institutions Against Disaster, the Sultanate celebrates World Civil Defence Day. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.